enjoy this video. So some of y'all might not know it, but lots of times whenever you order a Grayboe stock, there is a lead time, and because they're back ordered, it makes, it's a very good product. So like most good products, the company that makes them tends to be back ordered a little bit. However, if you search in their sales section, you might find a stock that fits whatever platform or whatever gun you have. I wanted one for my Savage, and they happen to have this one on clearance. It wasn't in the particular paint pattern that I wanted, because I want something a little more tan color. So we're gonna use the base coat of this forest green for the base coat of the paint job, and then we're gonna do some khaki on top. And I'm going to use stencils for Cryptek and some Bottomland splotchy stencils just to kind of break it up a little bit more. So I've also got some sponge application I'm going to do with some dark brown, and I'm also going to use an airbrush to highlight some of the cryptic patterns. If I can get this to stick it up. Gonna do a time lapse on that just so I'm not eating up valuable time doing it. So when I get done, we'll start spraying it. Now hopefully my little camera tripod gimbal won't die on me. I know this is a bunch of mixed up, not very perfect stencil job, but the good thing about this is if I don't like it, I can strip it off and start over. Ain't that big a deal. These stencils are very old, and they don't want to stick very well. Pretty sure I bought them whenever I built my first AR in 2013, 2012, I really don't remember. But anyway, I'm gonna do a mixture of two different base coats. It is a camouflage khaki, a Krylon satin khaki, which is a little bit shinier, but I'll fix that with a matte finish at the end. And then a Rust-Oleum satin oregano, which has kind of got a little bit more green in it than just the regular khaki. And I'm just gonna spray until my heart's content. Like I said, there ain't no rhyme or reason. No. I help you take it up a little bit more. Some khaki. I want the majority of this color on this rifle to be what we see as khaki. So I hit the last little bit with this. A little bit darker khaki. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, it's a little bit darker. But I don't mind it. What else did I miss? I think that'll be okay for right now. We'll let that sit and let that dry for a little bit. And then I'm gonna use my airbrush next and come in here and highlight some of these circles in the Cryptek pattern. So cut a fan on here too. All this is, it's gonna be kind of hard to get for most people, but it's a polytransparent, it's a wildlife color, and it's just burnt umber. And really the only advantage this has is I can be a little more precise with where I put it. Just trying to highlight some of those little circles in the Cryptek pattern to kind of create the illusion that there is a shadow behind it. Or a shadow around it. It might be a little easier with this one. don't fall off stock or cheap piece. Get some other side. There is zero rhyme or reason why or which my pattern is. It's just whatever I feel like. And that's all I'm going to do with that. And that lacquer dries really, really fast. So I'm going to go ahead and pull. Let's see. Kind of hard to see in the video, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull all the stencils off real quick, and then we'll get to using the stamp. Like I said, I know it's not gonna be perfect. But it'll be custom. Nobody will have one like it. And I still, if I wanted a little bit more coverage, what I can do is I can take that khaki and I can back it up, from where I hold the can up a pretty good little ways away, and then just lightly mist it over, and it'll still keep the pattern, but it'll just cover it up just ever so slightly. You can get these stencils for just about any camouflage pattern you want. Just Google camouflage stencil. The internet's chock full of them. These are high temp, I do believe, which that only matters if you're baking it in an oven for like Cerakote or something else. See, a little highlight thing didn't work out too well, but yeah, it kind of did right there. It's got a little bit of a shadowing effect to it. trying to be quick so my camera don't die. Now, also too, just for holding this stock or this cheek weld in place, I'm gonna put the, get off, the bolt that holds the cheek piece in place back in, because otherwise this thing's gonna fall out. And really doing this sponge work, it won't really matter. So before I forget. Tweezers. Putting stencils on and taking stencils off is the longest part of this process. If you even want to use stencils, you could go out and get leaves off a bush in the yard. You could use, I've seen people use netting material, like your laundry basket material. Anything can work out and be used as a stencil. Sorry about that. Edit. So, okay, now let's do this. Like I said, my bad. I didn't even hear it fall down. So, real quick, tan with some highlights, a little bit of everything going on. Now, I'm gonna try to resituate the camera. Not really sure how I'm gonna go about doing that because I do have another tripod in here, so hold on. Now, I'm gonna use some brown. I think this is just a Krylon dark brown. And I'm going to use a piece of cardboard for my palette. And all this is that I'm using to touch it is just is a sea sponge. You can get those, you can get these at any craft store. You can tear them up and get whatever, how big or how small you want. But whenever you're doing this and you spray it on this cardboard, you want to do it and get you a pretty good amount of paint on there. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to go to mash it in there and then go straight there. You know, figure out I'm gonna go with that. Daub it on there and then wipe some of it off. And then just lightly go over it. The more you keep using it, the more it's going to wear out and you're going to have to get a refill. So, but at the same time, to try to help with blending some colors, I'm going to go back and do my khaki as well. And I'm going to use my khaki on the spots where there's more of the brown. So it's just kind of a mixture, a little bit of everything. No rhyme or reason, just paint. That's already dried that pretty quick. Gonna do some black too while we're at it. Just very, very, I think, well, I'm gonna say black for last, because I think what I'm gonna do is another technique for doing some color and let that dry, and then we're gonna flip it over and do the other side. So we flipped it over. Start with brown again because it's already brown. And one thing also too, you can, well, you can mix colors if you like. So now I'm going to get a little bit more of a blended. That's neat. Now I got a little bit of both colors kind of blended together to give me a whole nother color. But I still want a little bit more brown on that. Go back to my pan. Use this for 10. And the green. I've been doing a little bit of green too. Just lightly. Just to kind of give it another color. Let's see, how does that look? So. Like that. So the last thing is going to be the black, and all I'm going to do with that is there's a fine line whenever you're doing black. I don't really care if I mess up this towel. This is just a shop towel, so it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Whenever you're doing this, if you can, these are really good about it, but instead of holding the nozzle down just and constantly, you want to hold it just enough down where it kind of spits and sputters. Let's see if I can show you on a piece of cardboard. So yeah, there's ever so slightly. So you might have to start and then back it off. Like that. That's kind of what I want to get, but just bigger. And all I'm doing is just putting a little bit of black dots on that. It's hard to get it right. Well, I don't want to mess up anything anymore, so I got a little bit of speck on there. Let it dry, and we're gonna do the other side. And other than that, that's probably gonna, that's all it's gonna be. See if you can kind of see it or not. I don't know. I'll turn it around this way. So you can still kind of see some of the Cryptek shining through, but and I might take my tan and kind of blotch over it a little bit more. This side is a lot more tan than that side, but I think it'll work. I like it. It's, you can do anything you want to do. There's no rhyme or reason why you gotta do anything. That's the beauty about being able to paint your own gun. So next video involving this gun will probably be putting the action back in this. I'm having the barrel cut down to 20 inches on my 6 Creedmoor. So next video, we'll be putting this back in this particular stock, and hopefully shooting some stuff at nighttime with it. But thank y'all for watching. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, and I'll see you next time.